we are trying to develop educators of tomorrow. About three
Mhm.
important points in this that. So rigorous, relevance, and the third component is nurturing ecosystem. So apart from what is required by AICTE, ideal profile, a few years of work experience, a little bit of an academic bent of mind so that they understand the pace and the expectations. The ones who marry the rigor and relevance.
Hi everyone, my name is Anita and I'm so happy to be speaking with Professor Snehal Shah at SPJIMR, and I'm so excited to welcome her. Please join me in welcoming Professor Snehal Shah. Welcome, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Happy to be here.
Likewise, ma'am, and I'm so happy that we are today on campus and we are having this interaction. Ma'am, you have done your PhD from Carnegie Mellon University. Your specialization is OBHR, and with 24 years of diverse experience in different spaces in India and in America, you have worked in academia, industry, and consulting, and your core area is diversity and inclusion, which is very close to my heart as well, and also on leadership and individual well-being. So, ma'am, you are right now Associate Dean, Academics and Research, and your entire experience in researching on these special, interesting topics brings me a question to you. Because you are handling the FPM program, you are handling the academics and research spaces here at SPJN. I would like to know from you that what defines the FPM program at SPJN?
Very important question. First of all, I want to say that I'm very fortunate that I've been associated. I'm the constant factor, if you will, from the inception of the fellow program in management at
Uh-huh.
SPJMR. So, in terms of its strategizing, thinking about the curriculum, designing, and of course,
Huh.
implementation, and having the first scholars entering our hallways of SPJMR, I've been fortunate to be part of that journey.
Huh.
Now, talking about the uniqueness or the special aspects, I would speak about three particular
Mhm.
important points in this. One is that when we are trying to develop educators of tomorrow, and in that sense, we also think that we are contributing to nation building
Mhm.
in a small sense. Then rigorous is one thing that comes to my mind. We can talk more about how we have created a curriculum which is rigorous, but coming back to or thinking about even my days as my days at Carnegie Mellon, what I realized that one needs to have bouquet of methodologies,
Mhm.
bouquet of rigorous training under your belt, what you understand, and then one can have sort of a understanding of what how to address those research problems that arise either by sensitizing yourself to the outside world or coming from literature. So rigorous is one thing that comes to my mind.
Mhm.
The other component of this, which is also special and unique, is relevance. And this
Mhm.
relevance, I would tap into the mission of SPJMR is to look at how we can create influencing practice
Huh.
in value based in terms of value based growth. So if we have to influence practice, how are we going to do that? By understanding the ecosystem outside, what are the current issues. So relevance becomes the key. And
Hmm.
how do the scholars understand it? It is after going through a curriculum which is aligned with the 1 year MBA program, which we call as postgraduate program in management, which is a more of an executive program, which is of a short capsule.
Hmm.
There they interact with other fellow colleagues, classmates who've come from the industry. So they understand what are the challenging current problems of the industry of today. And therefore, the second component is of relevance. So they get sensitized to that. So rigorous, relevance. And the third component, I would say, which is special to SPJMR, FPM is this nurturing ecosystem. What do I mean by nurturing ecosystem? Is that when scholars enter our program, we try to make sure that all of us in the FPM administration, along with the faculty, are open to having conversations and discussions. They are open to understanding where they are coming from, what is the experience and background the scholars are bringing on the table, and then we are facilitators and marrying. So it is not about sort of mandating that this is what you pursue, this is what you do. It is about creating and facilitating those mechanisms for original work to come about. So I would say
Mhm,
nurturing
mhm.
ecosystem is the third and a special component of the FPM at SPJIMR.
Okay, so three things I can easily see: rigor, relevance, and nurturing ecosystem. Very interesting, and I'm sure this you have brought a lot of learnings from your own PhD experience from the best institute in the world, Carnegie Mellon University. Um, from that experience, if you can talk about what are those individual level growth initiatives from institute side to which helps students to develop as an individual.
Yes. Thank you for asking that. All of us get influenced by our own backgrounds, and as you
Ha,
rightly pointed out, that I spent a good enough time at that place at Carnegie Mellon, and you are right that multiple things that I've brought on the table. Now, when I say I, it is the team of us who
team.
brought together
Hmm,
in terms of conceiving and implementing this program at the institute. What we thought, and so I would say two or three things have influenced me from my journey at Carnegie Mellon. One of them is the interdisciplinary aspect. So
mhm,
um, we have tried very hard to make sure that we are not making our scholars to think in silos. Although we have these disciplines that they enter into, either it's
mhm,
marketing or organization behavior or supply chain management, but what we encourage through our curriculum, through our interactions, to make them look at research problems which are more holistic. And I keep telling my scholars that these problems to be solved do not come in watertight compartments.
ha,
And so you cannot really think that these great challenges of today can be resolved only by looking at a marketing angle to it. It is so holistic. So are they creating or understanding that research problem from that multiple pluralistic perspective is
hmm,
where we have tried to encourage them again and again. So
mhm,
interdisciplinary and breaking the silos in thinking and in, of course, looking at a problem and data collection and the whole research life cycle. So that
aha,
is one. The second aspect is creating an ecosystem. So I remember even now we have what is called brown bag seminars. So
aha,
this is where platform where researchers, faculty, all of us come together once a month. Now it's even happening more frequently, where we talk about our research, whether it's half-baked idea or we are going to conferences and we want our peers to give us feedback so that it becomes more robust. So now it is a little bit amusing. Why is it called brown bag? Because in United States at Carnegie
yeah,
Mellon, we would pack our own lunch in a brown paper bag. Usually it's a sandwich or a salad, and then
ha,
we all gather together in a conference room and discuss over
ha,
those opening up those brown bag packages.
hmm,
Unlike that, so we continued that nomenclature
here,
and name, but but the concept is the same. So these are two or three things that I would I have continued to bring, and trust me, there are a lot my thinking, even designing. So maybe if you ask, and I would just put it out there that even the designing of the curriculum, the focus on methodologies, focus on bouquet of research related courses and training, and then of course understanding the breadth and the depth. So you could see that the way the curriculum is designed also breeds of my
Huh.
being influenced by Carnegie Mellon training.
I can understand. We all carry that those fond memories with us, and wherever we go, we leave those traces behind. That I am from here, so it will be there reflected in our actions and our behavior as well. So I understood about the culture, what SPGen is having here. Also want to know one more thing from you, because it's all about research. Research is a long journey, and we keep on struggling on different or this aspect or other aspect related to our journey of research. How the institute is celebrating the achievements of research scholars.
That's a very important point. And so, first of all, I have to say that our research journey with FPM is about 6 years old. So, I would
Mhm.
say, compared to other institutes who are in this journey longer, we are sort of nascent and we are taking baby steps. So, that is point number one. Now, having said that, what we have really done for researchers, as budding scholars, as researchers, we have tried to create. So I would say that I would divide up this question into what we are giving to support a good quality research, and once the support is given and taken, then what is the output and how do we recognize that. So we, again, going back to creating a nurturing ecosystem as a unique characteristic of the FPM, we are providing contingency allowances for them to get the required hardware, software. Um, so so that is one. The other thing is we really encourage them, and financial also, give provisions for them to go and attend international conferences, and we are fairly relaxed about it. So that means that they can really go out there and present their work, which is
Mhm.
gives a confidence, gives a lot of confidence, and boosts their research capabilities in multiple ways, and also create their own networks when
Mhm.
they meet others in national and international
Conferences.
conferences,
Mhm.
and many other things, right? They get grants which can support their research, because what we have realized that it is that beginning inertia. One needs to have that momentum, and once the ball starts rolling, once the research starts rolling, these scholars are very independent and can do their work. So I would say
Mhm.
at the input, from the input perspective, we are giving all these kind of support, I would say, and that is helping them to broaden their boundaries in terms of their own networks, financial incentives,
Mhm.
etc.
Mhm.
So that gets them rolling.
Okay.
Now, once they come out with the output, and as I mentioned to you, that output is still coming through, and we are 6 years into the journey, then we announce it to the whole world, right? We announce it to the SPJIMR family, we announce it. That gives them pat on the back, and
Hmm.
those kind of things. And
Great.
then of course there are other incentives and rewards and recognitions and all of that. They themselves also come up with their own competitive grants, which are also financial incentives. So not just internal, but some of them have also received external financial grants.
Mhm.
And of course, all through this, you know that this is a fully funded scholarship program, so
Absolutely.
they don't have to worry about it. And
Uh-huh.
this is competitive in terms of what we give into stipend. The scholarship and stipend is
Huh.
competitive to the top institutes. So
Mhm.
with all of
Mhm.
that, we hope that we've created that nurturing ecosystem that also includes financial incentives.
Great, ma'am. Moving to the next question. Because SPJN is a practice-oriented institute, so a lot of practicing professors are here. Um, a lot of other aspects related to executives and corporate world is taken care already. I would like to know from you that when are you planning to start SPJIMR executive FPM, because they're sitting at the heart of the city and a lot of corporate people are here. So for them, when are you coming up uh, in terms of a research program?
Yes, yes. Very apt question for an institute such as ours. We are definitely interested. So I would say that we are definitely interested. We have been toying around with that idea. And I would say that every 2 or 3 weeks we have our own SPJIMR alumni who come back and say that, okay, now we are looking for our own second career, or we want to pursue our own PhD. So you are right, there is a lot of demand from our own alumni, and of course, given the strategic location where we are at. Having said that, we also have to look at the sort of the regulatory climate.
Mhm.
So with the AICTE approval and all of that, so I
Mm.
would say that it is going to be the whole process, internal thinking as well as the
Huh.
regulatory approvals and all of that will come through in an accelerated manner.
Huh.
And when that happens, I know we are ready, because we have a curriculum in place. We know what works. We know there is a demand. So then we could put our own internal machinery in a fast forward
It will
pace
happen
to
soon.
have it up and running very soon. Yes, but
Okay.
we have to wait for the right
Time.
approvals to come through.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay. So, who is an ideal SP Gen scholar?
yes, yes. So that's very interesting, and we have thought through in multiple ways. So, apart from what is required by AICTE, I would say let's leave the eligibility criteria aside, right? Because those are sort of mandated things that we have to follow. Beyond that, what we have seen and what we prefer, speaking about the ideal profile, is that those who have few years as work experience in the domain that they want to work. So, for example, if somebody is interested in pursuing research in green supply chain, and if they come with an experience of a few years in, say, even a purchasing department, or supply chain function of a particular company, then we say that at least they understand the relevance of the problem. Again, going back to our roots, the relevance. So that is that.
Absolutely.
So that the few years of that experience. Having said that, we have also found success with those who are already in the academic system. So even if I look at prior data in terms of what is the profile of the scholars who are with us, some of them are research associates. Some of them are already assistant faculty in some other institutes, and now they would want a PhD to obviously elevate their teaching, research, and academic careers. So they are coming for that. So those have also found success because they are already tuned to an academic way of life. And that putting all of them, of course, we have got people from corporate, we've got people from those who are also from the public sector. So we are also very fortunate and proud to say that we have a diaspora, as we have a diaspora of faculty members who are coming from corporate experience and then uh, gain their PhD. Some of those others who are sort of a blue-blooded academicians who have just been in academia. A person like me who's hybrid, who was a blue-blooded academician before, but then gathered experience in corporate given personal circumstances. So it is a good match to have that kind of a diversity of profile, because obviously they I think they are the ones who marry the rigor and relevance inside the classroom.
Mm-hmm.
So just to summarize those in terms of the ideal profile, a few years of work experience in the area that they would like to in the related area that they would like to pursue, a little bit of an academic bent of mind so that they understand the pace and the expectations.
Mm-hmm.
Having said that, we've also encouraged to speak about diversity, those who've been far away, in the sense that those who have experience of 20 and higher number of years, as long as they have the curiosity and the zeal to get back into the classroom, we have encouraged them to have really,
Uh-huh.
in true sense, a second career, and
Mhm.
give them a chance to pursue this, as long as they can withstand the rigor of our program in terms of econometrics and statistics and quantitative and qualitative methods. But those who want to challenge themselves, those who want to pursue a different, really a different career, if you will, you being one of the exemplars of that, why not give that opportunity to them? And
Absolutely.
and as long as, of course, they are going to be willing to
Huh.
go through the grind, then why
So
not
it's
give
like
them?
those who are still curious, those who are still ready to learn new things should join the
Absolutely,
FPM program. Yes.
absolutely.
Um, from you, I also want to know some advices for potential research scholars.
We touched upon one of them, and I would say I would put that on the top of the list, to be curious. I tell my scholars, and at the repeating it time and again, I would say that look at the environment around you as a research lab. So you had an interaction with a faculty, with your fellow colleagues, or you were part of a meeting and you saw that people were behaving in a certain manner, or whichever marketing, any, if you go to a grocery store and see certain behaviors of consumers, don't think that these behaviors are written down in a textbook and that's how you have to pursue, or it comes from the literature. So consider your environment around you as research lab, and be curious to ask questions, don't look for answers. Connected to that, maybe it's a second point or what have you, but asking questions, we have forgotten to ask interesting questions, even if they are stupid, even if if they look foolish. Many discoveries have happened because of asking those fundamental questions that challenge basic assumptions. The whys give us the research questions. So be curious
Mhm.
and ask questions more than looking for answers, and create that environment around you
Mhm.
where you are seeking those problems to be solved, as if the
Mhm.
problems sort of walk up to you and say, okay, please address me, so that world is a better place, and
Huh.
society becomes better because of our own contribution, in even if it is drop in the ocean.
Mhm,
So these are
mhm.
the two
That's
things that I would like.
very interesting advice, ma'am. And I'm glad that you spoke about this aspect that every problem is solvable problem, and you take the problem to solve the problem. So you
Yes,
need to be curious about it. So very interesting advice. Thank you so much for speaking about all these things. Thank you.
thank you so much.
It's great to see you all here. Thank you for watching our work. If you have not subscribed to Inkpot Hub Media, then please hit the bell icon and subscribe to our channel and support research celebrations in India.
Press the bell icon on the YouTube app and never miss another update.